purpose is such a, it's just such a loaded word that people freak out about. Again, I don't think it's that complicated. Your purpose is why you exist, what you are made to do. Okay, maybe that's a little scary, but like, what are you best at? What are you best at? And how are you going to use that to uniquely serve the world? All right, to uniquely impact people, to uniquely make this world a better place and people a better place. We spend almost our whole life achieving and succeeding. It's called the hedonistic treadmill, right? That we achieve one thing and that doesn't quite do it for us. So we achieve another and we achieve another and we achieve another. And then we find ourselves in midlife and go, is that it? Is that all there is? We realize either the ladder was against the wrong wall or that we've been succeeding someone else's or achieving someone else's goals and not our own. In midlife, what happens is the first half we look back and it was about achieving and success and doing a lot of what the world expects of us, and this is completely natural. But in the second half we start going, you know what, those things don't interest me anymore. I'm not interested in succeeding and doing the work and doing the grind like I used to do in the first half. I'm more interested in things that are priceless. The first half was about things that were valuable. The second half are about things that are priceless. So like health and relationships and marriage and experiences over stuff. And so we start to reorient, or we start to get interested in pursuing the priceless and less interested in pursuing the valuable. That's the healthy transition that I've seen. Where a lot of people go wrong is they continue to chase the valuable. They continue to chase the stuff that didn't satisfy anyway. But because we're so wired to chase that stuff, that's what we continually and constantly pursue. So it's not super hard. I mean, to get that concept, right? It's not hard to get that concept. It might be easier said than done, is having to make that transition. So how do you make that transition? How do you go from someone who's pre-programmed to chase the valuable to now orient yourself around this idea of priceless? Well, part of what I recommend people to do is to set goals, but to do it differently. You actually set desires first. So you identify your desires. And when I say desires, it's like ideals. So like one of my desires is to have rich experiences. And rich relationships. Okay, let's go with rich relationships. And so that is my overall desire, that in life, the priceless column of desire is I want to identify about 5 of those. One of them is rich relationships. Okay, well, in 3 years from now, what does that look like? In 2 years, or in 1 year from now, what does that look like? This quarter, what can I do to invest in my relationships so they're rich relationships? And, whereas in my first half, I might have been like make $1 million before 40, or buy my dream home, or be able to take my kid, my family, which is, to Switzerland for 3 weeks, which we did. And it was fabulous. Right. And none of those are bad. Just as we get into the second half, those things just become a little less important. But what I would rather have than taking my kids to Switzerland, which was fabulous, but is to have a really great relationship with my son. I have 2 sons, so my sons are wondering which son I'm talking about. Or to have a really great relationship with my daughter. Again, I have 2 daughters, so they can fight over who I'm talking about. So yeah, I want to align my activity, my behavior, my goals to these priceless desires. That's one way you reorient. The other way you reorient is around purpose. And purpose is such a, it's just such a loaded word that people freak out about. Again, I don't think it's that complicated. Your purpose is why you exist, what you are made to do. Okay, maybe that's a little scary, but like, what are you best at? What are you best at? And how are you going to use that to uniquely serve the world. All right, to uniquely impact people, to uniquely make this world a better place and people a better place. And you can identify that and you can orient around that. You can even create a vocation or you can start a business around that. And because work is just a lot of what we do in culture, and I think it's really, a gift from God that we get to work. Why not choose work where you're doing your purpose and it's fulfilling and you're great at it instead of being satisfied for, well, I make too much money, or, I got to go, I sit in these meetings all day. I don't believe in what we do. I mean, I just think that is a travesty that we compromise and we take that, we accept that type of work versus going and crafting what we want to do. I don't care if you craft your own business or if it's just just a job somewhere. Make it the awesome job. Make it a company that you love to work for. Whatever it is, make sure that it aligns with your purpose and what you're doing. And that is probably going to be the number one driver to fulfillment in the second half, especially when we care less about what our title is, climbing the ladder, getting the big bonuses and stuff, and that we're just there to serve and help people in a way. And yes, we still need to make a living. I totally get that. And you can do that by doing your purpose, doing your vocation, that calling to work. So first half, chasing success, chasing achievement. Second half, chasing the priceless. And our goal here is to orient around the priceless, orient around the fulfilling things, set goals, change our behavior to start working towards that. And it's a little bit of a mind shift. And I think knowing's half the battle, right? G.I. Joe is getting the credit for that. But knowing's half the battle, like knowing like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I'm hardwired to do what the first half is supposed to do. And I'm hardwired to do what the second half is supposed to do. I'm supposed to change. I'm not supposed to do this forever. I have permission to do something else. You have permission to do something else. You don't have to do what your parents told you. You don't have to do what your grandpappy, whatever your made up name for grandfather is. You don't have to do what he told you to do. You can do what you want to do. And you can do it in a very fulfilling way. It's time to get off the treadmill, and it is time to start pursuing that which is priceless. So I encourage you, and I believe in you. You can do it. Just with a little bit of work, you can identify what is priceless. You can identify those desires. You can set those goals. You can start thinking about your vocation. What if I could use my gifts? What if I could do what I'm best at? What if I could do what I love to do and be fulfilled in doing it? There are jobs, there are businesses, there are self-employed, solopreneur, all those things that would allow you to do those things. So good luck in that. Of course, you can visit madetomatter.coach, where we have a lot of resources that can help with those type of decisions and coming to those conclusions. And the book that I wrote, The Life That Matters Manifesto, is another great resource for you. And it's half workbook too, so it will actually take you through those exercises to help you figure that out. So I hope those are helpful to you. Thank you for listening, and hope to see you next time.